In this video, we're going to be looking at an example paper, and we're going to pay particular close attention to the citations. In the introduction section of this paper, which is where most of your citations will be cited, we're going to look at a couple of different things. First, let's look at this citation right here for Hobby 1996. Now, this is done very well using the CSE Name Year system. We have the last name of the author, no comma, and we have the year of publication. This is contained within a parentheses, and the period is located after the parentheses at the end of the sentence where the information in that sentence came from this source. If we scroll down to the next sentence here, we see that now they're using a source from Hobby 1992, and that is also cited correctly. Continuing down, we see now a two-author citation. In this case, the symbol for and has been used instead of the word and using CSE Name Year system, it is actually preferred that you write out the word and rather than use the symbol. But note that there again is no comma here between the names and the year, so that looks pretty good. Continuing to scroll down in this paper, we're going to see the same source that was cited above, and this time they got the and correct. So they did Barker and Pilbeam, and they did not use the symbol, but rather wrote out the word and. But now they've added a comma. And so there's a little bit of inconsistency even within the same paper. Please make sure when you're writing your papers that you check your citations even within to make sure that they're consistent. But to fix this, we would remove that comma. Continuing to scroll down in this paper, we're moving in through the materials and the methods and the results where you're not going to have too many citations. So we're just going to keep moving pretty quickly until we get into the discussion section. And in the discussion section here, we're going to see now a citation that uses the word at all. At all is just Latin for and others. And so this is telling us that this paper by Helms has more than 3 authors. If there are 3 authors exactly, you're going to write them out just as we saw with the 2-person example. You do the first author, comma, the second author, and the third author, no comma, and then the year. But if you have greater than 3 and up to 10, you can use the words at all, and all you need to do is list the first author's last name. Some folks will italicize at all because it is Latin. That's up to you. But what you do need to remove is this comma right here. So we'll scroll down, and now we're seeing some very different citations here. We have a first author only, a year, and now we're seeing a page number. And in CSE Name Year system, we do not use a page number, so you're going to want to take this out right here. This Franco et al. Citation looks pretty good in terms of using at all. Again, no comma, so that is looking good. It looks a little bit different than the one up here with Helms, which had the comma. So this one down here, this Franco et al., looks much better. If we keep scrolling down, we're actually going to get to the Works Cited page, and here is where students typically struggle the most. If you're concerned about how to cite specifically, make sure you watch the prior video that really goes into what information do you need for your citations and how to do it. This one's just going to look at kind of what they did well and what could be improved. If you take a look at this first citation, notice that the authors' names are fully written out. In all the other citations, there are not. So again, direct yourself to the prior video to figure out how to correct this one. Secondly, we look at the placement of periods and commas. They are different from beyond the different publications here, the different citations, and they also need to be addressed using the CSE style guide that is referenced in Moodle. Finally, we see different ways of approaching the end of the citation. Here we've got the journal title, we've got no volume, just a issue, and then the page numbers. And here we've got ecology, now we've got a volume and an issue, but now we have pages, which we don't need in the citation. So when you have your citation list all together, do very much so go back and check to make sure that what you're citing is on track with the style guide. It's really important, especially if you've had multiple people working on your citations.